heroes, welcome to Heroically Fit. I am David, and today I'm going to be answering your questions about food, nutrition, timing, and what's good to eat and what's not good to eat while you're on a weight loss journey. Particularly fat loss, which is something that I like to emphasize before talking about weight loss, because fat is when you want to lose, not muscle. So, I asked on Facebook to ask me questions regarding what and when you should eat for fat loss, and I got 3 questions that I want to answer. And Rebecca asks, can you tell me about carbs and pasta? Penne alla vodka is one of my favorite foods, and probably make it once a week, and while it doesn't seem to affect my weight, the carb factor frightens those who I cook it for. And I wonder if there's a change I can make to eliminate the guilt factor. So she says nothing much seems to affect her weight, and she eats plenty of vegetables, but she also loves carbs and partakes in them very often, which a lot of us still do. Should I be more careful? Are carbs as bad as they say? I do go for whole grain most of the time. Also love making veggies like squash and sweet potatoes. Are those kind of starchy vegetables okay to cook often if I have a partner who's trying to lose weight? So there's a lot of different points I'm going to address in that question, so I'll try to make it quick. So first of all, carbs and pasta. So the thing about pasta is it's a very caloric dense food, and one second guys, which means that when you eat a little bit of pasta, it's actually packed with calories and mostly carbs. Carbs that normally spike the insulin levels because they spike your blood sugar. They have a high glycemic index, so when you eat them, what happens is they digest quickly and the sugar goes straight into your bloodstream. When you're not using that sugar or those carbohydrates for recovery purposes or to replenish glycogen, which is the way that the body stores glucose, which is a useful form of energy, into the muscles and liver, what ends up happening is that insulin will actually trigger a response to store those sugars as fat. And that's why people start gaining weight when they eat too much pasta and stuff. It's not necessarily that the pasta is bad, it's just that it doesn't get used properly, and if you consume it in large amounts or in more than moderate amounts, you're going to gain fat. So that's one thing about that. So it's not bad to have it once in a while. Like right now, as you can see in front of me, I have chicken strips that were made by one of my clients, and I have a whole box of donuts. And there's a reason for that, which I'll get to in a second. So let me go to the second point of that question. The carb factor frightens people who I cook it for, and I wonder if there's any change I can make to eliminate the guilt factor. You could do like spaghetti squash if you want instead of actual spaghetti, and it's a good substitute. It's very low carb. It's a vegetable. You can eat as much as you want of it. It's very low in calories too, so you can do that. But honestly, I would just tell people that they shouldn't worry about it. It's fine once in a while as long as the rest of their diet is on point. The biggest problem with people that consume pasta, rice, bread, and all that stuff, it's not that they're consuming those items in particular. It is the fact that they're consuming a bunch of other garbage throughout the day on top of that. So imagine, right now I just finished my leg workout and I'm eating chicken strips with ketchup and donuts. I'm not gonna eat all the donuts, but I don't know which ones I want, so I'm gonna pick out whatever I want in a second. But the rest of the day I had protein shakes, I had veggies, I had lean chicken and some beef, a couple pork chops, stuff like that. It's lean stuff, lots of vegetable stuff. So like I'm okay with eating this. I enjoy it, and I'm gonna use it to replenish my body after doing a workout. So even if you're not working out though, it's okay to have this, once in a while. It's not gonna kill you, and it's not gonna make you fat, assuming that the rest of your diet is on point, like that you're eating healthily and you're eating intuitively versus eating with cravings and just drinking a ton of soda, fruit juices, drinking a bunch of alcohol. So that's another topic that I'll do on another day if you guys want. Make sure you comment below and let me know. So nothing much seems to affect your weight, and you eat plenty of vegetables, which is a great thing. Vegetables are fibers. They actually increase the thermogenic effect, which is the fat burn effect in your body, and they regulate your blood sugar. Plus they're loaded with vitamins and minerals that you need for like optimum living efficiency. Let's see, it says, are carbs as bad as they say? Well, I just covered that. They're not bad, it's just, they're not, they basically, if you don't use them, they're like the most accessible form of energy. If you don't use that energy, it gets stored as fat. So it's not bad, but if you have someone who's diabetic, then they need to watch all the carbs they take in, because any spike in blood sugar, it can be catastrophic. Depends on how bad the diabetes is, whether it's 1 or 2. If you have someone who's overweight too, they should cut down on carbs simply because the body will react a lot better when it has to use fat as energy versus having all that extra carbs as intake to use as energy. So squash is fine. Squash is actually not terrible. You can eat a ton of squash. It's not gonna make you gain weight. Sweet potatoes, on the other hand, they're really good because they have a low glycemic index and they have a medium glycemic load, and they're loaded with nutrients. You're fine cooking those, once or twice a day, every day for whoever's trying to lose weight. They're actually the preferred complex carbohydrate of choice. So if your partner's trying to lose weight, I would say he or she should focus more on getting exercise daily and eating moderately. Lots of veggies, lean proteins, good amount of healthy fats, and then not worried about the sweet potatoes. And if you really want to mitigate any quote-unquote damage if you're working out, just have it before your workout, and it's a great source of energy, or you can have it after your workout. It's a great source of replenishment. If you're not working out, don't worry about it. Sweet potatoes are, honestly, you get a lot of bang for your buck because they're not calorie dense at all. You can have a ton of sweet potatoes and get very minimal calories in comparison to having half the weight in that in pasta or rice and getting twice as many calories. Alright, so moving on. AJ asks, if you eat multiple meals a day, how much should each portion be? Okay, so portion control is an interesting topic, but it's really quite simple. What you want to do mostly is load up your plates with veggies and healthy fats, and the remainder of that with your protein. So what you'd have is grab a plate, not like this is kind of small, this is like a snacking plate. Grab a plate, fill it up about half, if not 3/4 with veggies. Just, cruciferous greens, you want to go for broccoli, asparagus, spinach, lettuce, anything that's green is awesome. And you can also go cauliflower, carrots. I would stay away from corn because corn is actually very starchy and it's not conducive to your weight loss. And it can get out of hand because corn is delicious. Any greens you want, get creative with it. Fry them, boil them. I would say steam them is probably the best way to do it. It saves on minerals and vitamins. Fill that up, put some avocado in there for the healthy fats, avocado, maybe some eggs. You can even do bacon, a little bit of olive oil or whatever, and then do your protein. Do your chicken, your beef, your salmon, steak, whatever it is you're doing, then that's your portions. I mean, honestly, you should always eat until you're satisfied, not until you're full and you hate yourself. You'll know when you're satisfied. You'll know because you'll start eating and you'll eat, and in the next bite you're like, you know what? I'm pretty much done. I don't have to keep going. You'll realize it. Especially if you start eating intuitively, you'll realize when you start getting full and you're like, okay, I'm done. When that happens, just stop eating. Honestly, do yourself a favor and stop eating. I know a lot of us were raised to finish our food in front of our plate, but just put a lid on it, put it in the fridge, and eat it later. It's really that simple, honestly. And it depends how many meals you're eating a day, but eating lots of veggies and having fat and protein, what that does for you is it keeps you satiated and it makes it so you're not hungry, so you don't feel like eating anything else. For portions, as far as that goes, just lots of veggies, get your adequate amount of protein, put some fats in there, and good to go. You can't go wrong with veggies and fat, let me tell you. Matthew asks, how do you deal with things like going over to someone's house and they don't have the healthiest options for a meal? Do you not stress about it too much if it's only one meal? The short answer to that is, yeah, don't stress. It is what it is. Listen, you go to someone's house, you're gonna eat what they have. A lot of the time it's just common courtesy if they serve you a plate just to eat it. What I would suggest from personal experience and from what I tell my clients all the time is that if you know you're going to a Thanksgiving dinner, which will be in a couple days, or a birthday party or whatever, plan for it, plan ahead. Meaning, during the day, eat light. Have a protein shake, have your veggies, have your lean proteins. Don't have any heavy carbs, no juices. Try to stay low on fat too, and then just kind of eat as lean as possible. And if you can, get a workout in. I would say always get a workout in before going to any of these events. And even after your workout, have a protein shake anyway, like a scoop of protein, just because you want something in your stomach. You don't want to show up to these events with a voracious appetite. But should you eat a lot? It is what it is. At the end of the day, one day doesn't matter because you have 7 days in a week and 30 days in a month. So think about it that way. If you mess up one day in a week, you still got 6 days to make up for it, not a big deal. If you miss one day in a month, that's 30 to 31 days, Even if you missed one day each week, that's anywhere from 4 to 5 days. That's 10 to 12% of your week, of your month. That's nothing. That's still if you're looking in terms of passing grade, 10%, you still have a 90% score, that's 8. The biggest issue that I see with people that stress out over that one meal is that they let it get out of control. So they'll think, oh my God, I messed up one meal or whatever. I guess the whole day's messed up. If it's at the end of the night, the next day they wake up and say, wow, I messed up yesterday. I guess I'll eat whatever the heck I want today because who cares? It's already messed up. Everything's gone out the window. And that's a problem because it starts snowballing. If you think that way, you'll end up messing that one day, but you also mess up the next day and the next day after that and the next day after that. Most people will just wait until a Monday and then they'll restart the routine. But the problem is by that time, you'll have done so much psychological damage that it might be nearly impossible to just get back on the wagon. Because two things will happen. You'll either get on the scale and you'll be like, wow, I gained like 50 pounds in 1 week. Or you look at yourself in the mirror and it's like, damn, I'm so bloated. I lost all my gains. I'm just like out of control here, whatever. I guess I'll eat some more because, you know, I want to eat my feelings away. It's not like a jab at anyone because I've done that too in the past. What I've learned to do is to think, okay, I ate a lot of food. I'm going to use that as fuel to work out. I'm going to use it as energy to do other things. And if you don't work out, just eat less the next day. Just eat leaner, eat healthier because like I said, it's only one day. So yeah, that being said, that's it for today's question and answer, Q&A episode 1, I guess, for the new Heroically Fit format. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. Share this with your friends. Follow us on Instagram as well, @HeroicallyFit. And yeah, I'll be back with more questions and answers with anything you guys have to ask because I love to spread the fitness knowledge. Any way I can help you guys, I will. And if you're looking to change your life for the better and become the most heroic version of yourself, feel free to visit the link below, or rather on the description, which is going to take you to a free consultation with me. There we will talk about where you want to be and how we can get there and how I can help you do what you've always wanted to do, which is become the superhero that you know you are. And as always, stay heroic.